Welcome! I'm here to guide you through the yokai-infested lands of feudal Japan. We will get to know their attack patterns and how to punish them, best distance to engage, and their burst attack timings. We're going to focus on the non-boss yokais that don't stagger when you attack them. Yoki. It's best to fight them at mid-range. They have several 2-string attacks that all can be sidestepped. It will either be 2 sword swings, or 1 sword swing followed by a delayed kick. Just walk around and wait for both attacks to whiff and then punish. Its first attack is a overhead swing. It has really slow startup, so burst counter accordingly. Its weak spot are the horns on his head, which you can break to inflict major key damage. It also has a 4-hit combo that he does after gesturing with his left hand. Walk back to avoid all 4 hits and then punish accordingly. Enki. Fight them at mid-range. It has a 3-hit combo where you want to block or back away from the first 2 hits and then sidestep the 3rd hit to punish. It can also jump up and throw its spear. Roll towards him or sideways to avoid the spear. The gray particle effects on his hand indicates a grab attack. Just back off from mid-range to avoid the grab and he'll roll right into you to punish. He also has a single spear poke which you can react to and block. There's 2 different burst attacks. One is a body slam and the other is a multi-hit string. If you're at mid-range, you can back off from the first 2 hits on the string and burst counter the 3rd, or just burst counter the body splash. Its weak spot is the horn on his head. Ippon-Datara. Stay at mid to far range. He does 2 diagonal upward swings. Punish with a single attack and then dodge if he follows it up with a overhead slam. You can also punish that follow-up overhead slam. Its weak spot are the tusks on his face. Another attack is the vertical slams. He can do 1, 2, or 3 slams in a row. Stay away or side row to punish after he's done attacking. He has 2 different burst attacks, a grab and a ground slam. Both of them are very slow and easy to counter. If he does the instant leap towards you, just hold block to avoid his follow-up kick attack. The spear variant can use his weapon as a pogo stick, so run away when that happens. Dweller. The larger miners do not get staggered like the smaller variants, but their attack pattern is still very simple. They will do 1 or 2 hit strings, which you can back off to avoid and then punish. Staying at mid-range also makes this easier. The bigger version of skeleton warriors also do not stagger when you attack them. Dodge is 1 to 3 hit attack strings and punish. After you exhaust his ki, you can perform a final blow on his bone pile. Make sure to roll away after the final blow because he will wake up and try to grab you. It has 2 different burst attacks, a slow overhead swing and a whirlwind blade storm spin. Stay at mid-range to see his attacks and counter accordingly. Yamanba. She is deadly if you let her do her attacks, so stay close and keep up the pressure. Don't give her a chance to pull out her second weapon. She also gets staggered by normal hits. Her burst attack is also very slow. very, very slow, so keep an eye out and try to counter correctly. Waira. Stay at close to mid-range. You can circle strafe towards his right to avoid his many claw attacks and his rock spit. You can punish as he attacks. Just keep an eye out when he falls on his back and roll away. When he dives into the ground, just make sure you run away and don't get too close. He can also do a falling attack that has a very slow wind up. Just roll away when you see that. He has two slow burst attacks. One is a grab and the other is turning into a ball and rolling around. Both have very similar startup time and are very slow. Mitsume Yazura. Stay at mid-range. Its attacks are very easy to avoid. When it leaps in the air, just back off and punish after it lands. You can also toss elemental balls or fire beams, but they are easy to avoid when you are mid-range. Back away when it tries to grab you and punish afterwards. It has one burst attack that has very slow wind up and travels very far in a straight line. Keep an eye out for its lunging animation and you'll get the counter time. Nure-Onna. Stay at close to mid-range. It's easiest to hold block and wait for her to attack and punish afterwards. She has 3 attack variants: a tail swipe, a single hair swing, or 2 hair swings, and she spits paralysis needles. Use a faster weapon to get better ki recovery while blocking. She has 2 burst attacks, a quick tail slam and a slow petrifying gaze. I suggest using a quick burst counter when you see her glowing red. If she does the gaze instead of the tail slam, you still have time to counter again for the gaze. Toxic Slimes or Umi-Bozu. Stay very close and block its melee attack. After blocking, it will expose its weak core. Attack that for large ki and health damage. If you are too far, it will throw weapons at you instead of doing a melee attack. They are also very weak to magic spells. Magatsu Warrior. Stay at mid-range. It has 2 different projectile attacks that look like vertical and horizontal sonic booms. Side roll the vertical ones and roll towards him on the horizontal one. The horizontal also has a much slower startup. If you are having a hard time rolling the vertical ones, just try to block both attacks. It has a quick 4-hit combo that you want to back off from and punish afterwards. It can also do a couple swings followed by a ground slam. Wait for the slam to finish and then punish. It has a medium speed burst attack with a very long range. Its weak spot is the glowing spikes on his back. I recommend not to break his weak spot because he will become much more mobile and deadly afterwards. His attack pattern will also change once he loses 2 of his arms. One-Eyed Oni or Snowclops. You can either stay mid-ranged and avoid all his attacks, or stay at close range and circle strafe around him. When he does his slow punches, you can circle strafe and punish the entire time he's attacking. You can also keep attacking while he does a burst attack if you are already behind him. His weak spot is his eye, but you can only hit it with a melee after he does a belly flop. His other ground slam and rock throw is easy to avoid if you are mid-range. Onyudo. Stay at mid to far range. He has 2 tongue attacks, a long forward poke, and a wide sweep. You can sidestep the poke and roll into his sweep. His most common attack pattern is to poke with his tongue and then a sweep and then a charge. You can roll into the sweep, punish once, and then side roll and avoid the charge. If his charge collides with a wall, he will lose all his ki gauge immediately. He also has some short-range punching attacks that you can avoid by walking backwards. He has 2 burst attacks, a very slow ground slam and a 100 slap. The slaps are very easy to counter, but the ground slam can be difficult to time because it's so slow. It's hard to stay behind him because he might do a 360 tongue sweep that is very hard to react to. Flying Bolt. Stay at close range. You can block all her attacks including her burst attack and punish afterwards. All her attacks only hit once, so you can punish after every single one. Her grab will also not hit you unless you are directly touching her. It will apply a slow effect, which isn't really a big deal. As always, you can counter her fast burst attack to do more damage. Karasu Tengu. One of the most annoying enemies in the game. Stay at mid to far range. When you are far away, he'll either throw sonic booms or fly in the air. If he does throw a boom, roll into it and punish. He usually does a slash followed by a 360 kick. Only punish with one attack after the kick because he might use a burst attack right after. If you only attack once, you can still use your burst counter in time. It can also fly up and twirl its staff. From this, it can either slam back to the ground or charge at you with a dive. If it slams to the ground, just stay away. If it charges at you, roll towards him and punish. It can also fly real high and do an air sonic boom. Once again, roll through to avoid damage. If it flies up to grab you, roll away and punish. Its second burst attack is a standalone lunge with its staff. It's normal speed and can be easily countered. Here is a quick Tengu kill which shows you can be pretty offensive and capitalize on every whiffed attack. Rokurokubi. After he transforms, stay at mid to far range. He has 2 range attacks. One is a single projectile and the other is a conal breath. Sidestep the projectile and back off from the breath. Both of these can be punished. He can also lunge his head really far away. You can sidestep this and punish. If you are too close, he might do 2 or 4 melee attack swings. You can avoid these and punish afterwards. He also has a grab when he glows gray. Roll away when that happens. He has 2 burst attacks, a medium speed, far range lunge, and fast ground pounds with his head. The single lunge is much easier to time than the ground pounds. I recommend staying away from the pounds. Koroka. This enemy is easiest at close range. If you are far away, he'll cast his fireball spells, as well as placing Yokai Realm on the ground. You can block the fireballs without taking damage. He can also get staggered from every attack. You can see me here punching to interrupt all his melee attacks and spells. The only thing you cannot interrupt are his burst attack and grab. He has 2 burst attacks, a very slow one that lunges in a straight line, and a fire breath. You can yokai counter any time during the fire breath and it will count. Just keep up the pressure and it won't be able to attack you back. Ubume. Stay at mid-range to avoid her screams. She is pretty harmless when she's holding her baby, so you can attack until she transforms to her other phase. With her hair out, she is more aggressive. She will either scream and produce an aura around her that damages your ki, or attack you with her hair. Her hair attack lunges forward pretty far. You can circle strafe to dodge the hair and punish. You can also block and then go into punish as well. You can also attack after her scream bubble is over. Her burst attack is medium speed and is very easy to react to. Tesso. Stay at close range and keep up the pressure. They are easiest when using a faster weapon. When you are close, they will usually run away or perform one of its 2 fast burst attacks, but they are easy to react to. They will also do nauseous attacks, but they don't stagger you, so you can keep on hitting them. They can be a little scary if you're far away, so stay close and keep up the pressure. Namahage. Stay at medium to far range. It has 3 main attack patterns that you can punish. If it flings up rocks, sidestep to his left. If it does a low sweep, back off and punish. It can also do 2 normal swings that you can punish afterwards. It has 2 slow burst attacks, 1 overhead swing, and a really slow lunge. For the lunge, I wait for his left arm to barely start moving before I counter. Its weak spot is the horns on his head. Hope this will help you get revenge on all those nasty yokais in Nioh 2. And always, thanks for watching.